There's something crazy that's been going on for over a decade now. Remember when George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney back in 2012 for over $4 billion? Yeah, Bob Iger was sitting there grinning like he hit the jackpot. Well, ever since that day, Star Wars has gone downhill, and it's been one disaster after another under Disney, especially with Kathleen Kennedy in charge of Lucasfilm.
Oh, definitely. People have been screaming about how Disney's ruining Star Wars since day one. But you know who's never had the guts to admit it? The mainstream media. Every time Disney screws up, these media outlets jump in to defend them, saying, oh, if you don't like this, you must be a bigot. Or no, the ratings are fine, when it's clear that everything's crashing and burning. They've been bending over backwards to protect Disney from any real criticism.
Exactly. But now get this. The Hollywood Reporter finally asks the question we've been yelling about for 12 years. Is Disney bad at Star Wars? You'd think, oh, wow, they finally get it, right? Nope. The headline might have given people some hope, but when you actually read the article, they're still defending Disney. They go through all these failures and still conclude. Disney's not bad at Star Wars.
Are you kidding me? What a joke. They can't admit the truth even when it's staring them in the face. Doesn't matter how many projects Disney screws up or how many times they break the lore, the media just keeps covering for them. It's like they're saying, hey, at least we're getting more Star Wars, right? Yeah, sure, let's just keep shoveling garbage in our mouths because it's labeled Star Wars. No thanks. If it's bad, it's bad. And honestly, I'd rather have no Star Wars than watch them destroy it piece by piece.
I completely agree. Almost every Disney Star Wars movie and show keeps damaging the brand more and more. And yeah, the Hollywood Reporter tried to act like everything's fine because the critics love these projects. What a shocker. Critics who are paid to praise everything Disney puts out say it's good. Big surprise. They mentioned box office returns and streaming ratings like other studios are jealous of Disney. Really? Box office returns. They spent so much making The Rise of Skywalker and it probably didn't even break even. Disney has lost half of its audience since The Force Awakens, but sure, tell me again how everything's fine.
Right? And they do this half-effort overview of the movies and shows Disney's messed up. They mention how The Mandalorian Season 3 got terrible backlash and tanked in the ratings, finally admitting that some people didn't like it. Everyone knows Season 3 was awful. They also bring up the Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which got one season each, then were pretty much forgotten. Then there's Andor. It started with low ratings but managed to pick up a bit. But Ahsoka started decent, then fell off a cliff because, let's face it, it was basically another average movie stretched out into a show.
Oh, and they had to talk about The Acolyte, of course, the series with the most diverse cast. Apparently, the New York Times said it cost $180 million to make, but real financial documents show it's actually over $230 million. But sure, let's trust their numbers. And critics, of course, they loved it like they always do. But fans, absolutely not. The ratings were so bad they had to cancel it. Yet here we are again with the media painting the backlash as some kind of culture war instead of, fans just hating bad storytelling.
Yeah, that's their go-to excuse every time. It's like, oh, if you didn't like it, you must be a racist. Please. Most people criticizing The Acolyte weren't racist. They just thought it was trash. But nope, they use the same shield every time, just like Kathleen Kennedy does. The Hollywood Reporter even had to admit when they said, well, maybe Kathleen Kennedy hasn't been doing the best job. Oh, you think? Fans have been saying this for 12 years. But anytime we bring it up, we're labeled as toxic. It's ridiculous.
The Hollywood Reporter even asks, could Disney be better at Star Wars? Obviously. But then they say, oh, making Star Wars is so much harder than Marvel. Really, Kevin Feige has it so easy compared to Kathleen Kennedy? Give me a break. They're still making excuses for her after all these failures.
Yeah, it's pathetic. The media has been defending Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, and Lucasfilm for years, covering up their mistakes, and now they're finally starting to admit some problems, but still coming to the wrong conclusion.